Children, this is page number 48 and we'll continue with our Act 1, Scene 3. Now, Antonio says, I do never use it. Now, when Shylock tells him that, yes, I remember, I'd forgotten that you had asked for 3 months. Antonio, and then he says that you also said, I think you said that you never lent or borrowed on interest. At that point, Antonio says, yes, I'm never in the habit of doing so. Shylock says, when Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep. This Jacob from Aholi Abraham was, as his wise mother wrought in his behalf, the third possessor. He was the third. Now Shylock says, when our prophet Jacob descended from Aholi Abraham and grazed his uncle Laban's sheep, his clever mother planned on his behalf so that he became the third successor to the family property. Yes, he was the third. Now children, over here, according to the book of Genesis, and this some chapter related to this instance which is mentioned over here, Rebecca, Jacob deceived his elder brother, of his birthright and paternal blessing. So he became the heir to father Isaac and to his grandfather Abraham. Abraham was the founder of Jewish race. So Jacob, what did he do? He fled from Esau's, his elder sons. Jacob was elder brother, consequent anger, and served his uncle Laban for 7 years in order to gain the hand of his daughter Rachel. So one more, it's all given in your, you can see this is mentioned in your workbook, refer to it. So this is what Jacob did, and he became the third possessor. Now Antonio, at this point, Antonio says, and what of him? Did he take interest? So Antonio also doesn't lose any point. He just wants to give a sarcastic remark at whatever words and Shylock speaks. He says, what about him? Did he take interest? Shylock says, no, not take interest, not as you would say, directly interest. Said, not as you understand the meaning of word today, which means direct interest, but note. He says, mark over here means note what Jacob did. Well, Laban and himself were compromised that all the yearlings over here refers to all the newborn lambs, which were streaked and pied. Streaked and pied means which were with fleeces of 2 colors, right? And should fall as Jacob's hire. So he means to say that, first of all, I would like to tell you what is a third possessor. Third possessor means third inheritor. Jacob's elder brother should have inherited from his father. His father's name was Isaac. The possession that Isaac inherited from his father Abraham. So Isaac was the first one. Then Jacob tricked his brother and became the third possessor. Abraham, from Abraham to Isaac, and Isaac from the third possessor became Jacob. Jacob became the third possessor after tricking his brother Esau. So over here, that is what is mentioned. Then in the next extract, we'll find that Shylock says that he doesn't take any interest. Not interest, no straight interest in money, as you would say. Listen to what Jacob used to do. Then he brings his attention towards Jacob and says that when his uncle Laban and he had entered into an agreement that all newborn lambs that were striped and particolored, that should go to Jacob as his remuneration. You should know what is remuneration for tending the sheep. Money, as a profit to Jacob. At that time, this was a way of making profit, and Jacob prospered. Profit is always a blessing if not made by theft. He means to say that. He means to say that all profit is a blessing if men do not steal it from others. So indirectly, Shylock is just telling him that if he takes interest, that is not a thing to be worried about. It's not a sin. But it is a blessing. Okay, all profit is a blessing if men do not steal it from others. Antonio says this was a venture, sir. He means it, this was an enterprise. Okay, this was purely a matter of speculation that Jacob did. It was not in his powers to determine. A thing not in his power to bring to pass means it was not in his power to make it happen, but swayed and fashioned by the hand of heaven. But it all happened, it was controlled and designed by the hand of God. Was this inserted to make interest good? Was this mentioned in order to justify the charging of interest? Or is the gold and silver ewes and rams? So over here Antonio makes fun of Shylock. He doesn't lose any ground to make fun of Antonio's taking interest matter. So what does he say? Do you think, are you just mentioning all these things just justify the charging of interest, or do you consider your gold as ewes and rams? Ewes are female sheep and rams are the male sheep. Shylock says, I cannot tell. I make it breed as fast. But note me, Signor. He says, I cannot tell you that I am making money increase as fast as ewes and rams, but listen to me, sir. Antonio says, mark you this, Bassanio. The devil can cite scripture for his purpose. He says, listen to this, Bassanio. The devil can quote from the scripture when he wants to justify his purpose. So again, he'll find that Antonio is making fun of Shylock openly and just trying to make fun of his, charging interest, that his business bargains and all. Then he says, an evil soul producing holy witness is like a villain with a smiling cheek, a goodly apple rotten at the heart. Oh, what a goodly outside falsehood hath. So Antonio says, note Bassanio, the devil can quote from the Holy Bible when it suits his purpose. He says, a vicious man, an evil man, who cites holy scriptures or put forwards holy arguments is like a villain who smiles outwardly, but is wicked at heart. And just like an apple that looks fine outwardly but is really rotten within. Oh, how a knave hides its viciousness, that is falsehood. That is how, look at him, what an attractive external appearance falsehood has. Shylock says 3,000 ducats, it is a good round sum. 3 months from 12, then let me see the rate. Now over here you can see Shylock, this master, mind, has a mastermind now, he's thinking over something. He says 3,000 ducats, it's a big sum. 3 months from 12. Yes, let me see the rate. Then he just starts thinking over. Antonio says, well, Shylock, shall we be beholding to you? Are you going to oblige us? Oblige us means, Shylock, are you going to, do you think that you can oblige us by giving us this much amount? Then you see Shylock says, Signor Antonio, many a time and oft, in the realto you have rated me about my monies and my usances. Still have I bought it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and for all use of that which is mine own. Well then, it now appears you need my help. Go to then, you come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have monies. You say so. You that did void your rim upon my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Money is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say, hath a dog money? Is it possible a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low and in a bondman's key with bated breath and whispering humbleness say this, fair sir, you spit on me on Wednesday last, you spurned me such a day, another time you call me dog, and for these courtesies I'll lend you this much monies. So over here you'll find Shylock in his intensified mood over here. Now he says, Signor Antonio, Often you have abused me. Many times you have abused me in the Rialto, in the stock exchange market. Okay, you abused me for my monetary transactions and my practice of charging interest. And he says, I have all borne it with patient struggle. I have all suffered all the insults patiently. For sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. He says that forbearance, he means to say that patience is a badge of a race. That we Jews are meant for our patience. We are known for our patience. Okay. He called me misbeliever. Misbeliever means that infidel you may call unbeliever. Okay. Then you call me cutthroat dog. Who is a cutthroat dog? Cutthroat dog refers to a dog who is a person who is merciless dog. Okay. And spit upon my Jewish carbondine. Carbondine over here refers to loose outer garment, traditionally worn by Jews. Okay. And for all use of that which is mine, that you, what did you do? Whatever belongs to me, did all of these only because I make use of the money that belongs to me. So it just because of all these things you had been doing all these things to me. Well then, it now appears you need my help. Now for this you just spit on my long Jewish robe, or because I put to use which is my own money. Now it appears that you need my help. Very well. Then he says, you come to me and say, Shylock, we want some money. Okay, you say so. You that did void your realm upon. Did void your realm upon over here, please note it down, children. It means that you did spit upon me. You did spit upon me and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur. You even kicked me as a stray dog is kicked. Okay, so up over your threshold. He says that just as you kicked me out of your house, as a stray dog is kicked, you have come now with a request for money. He says, what should I say to you? What should I tell you? Should I not say, hath a dog money? That now you have been calling me dog. So at this point when you are asking me money, shall I not say that has a dog any money? Is it possible for a dog to lend you 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bow so low and in bondman's key? Bondman's key refer to slave's voice. Should I say with bated breath? With bated breath means with subdued whispers in an anxious way. Should I whispering humbleness means a low tone which shows humility. So should I bend so low to you and just be in a submissive voice? Should I say, noble sir, that last Wednesday you spat on me, on another day you pushed me out of the way, and then another time you called me a dog? Because of all those acts of so-called politeness, shall I lend you the money you want? That's what he says. Children, in the next line you'll find that Antonio remains arrogant. He says, I am as like to call thee so again. He says, I am likely to call you the same again. It is almost sure that I will call you so again. What did he call him? Dog. He said, it is almost sure that I will call you a dog again. He says, to spit on thee again, and I'll spit on you and kick you. Okay. 2. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friends. For when did friendship take as a breed for barren metal of his friend? Over here Antonio says that I will surely do all these things. I will call you dog. I will spit on you. I'll push you aside again. But if you lend me money, do not lend it as you would do to a friend. Then he says, when did a friend lend money to a friend in order to make a financial profit? Okay. So then next he says, a breed for barren metal of his friend, okay, to make up financial profit. But lend it rather to thine enemy. So if you are lending me money, lend the money to me as if I were your enemy. Who, if you break, thou mayst with better face exact the penalty. He says, if I should fail to abide you by your contract, you shall exact, you shall take the money, or take the penalty from me. Okay. Then he says, why, look you, how you storm. I would be friends with you and have your love. Forget the shames that you have stained me with. Supply your present wants and take no doit of issuance of my monies, and you will not hear me. This is kind I offer. Now look at Shylock. Shylock is also very clever. If Antonius, is not like being humble, showing his humbleness right now, if he remains arrogant, Shylock also stick to his point and says that see how, what makes you so furious? I wish to be your